Good evening, everyone. We think we're on the air. Welcome to the September 13th Planning Board meeting. It is now 7:01. I'll call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comments. There being no members of the public present, I will move on to the review and approval of the minutes from 8/9/16. Peter, I will appoint you to serve in place of Eric, who is missing.
Okay.
Okay? Hey, Janice. Okay. Are there any comments, corrections, additions? August 9th?
I move we approve the minutes of August 9th, 2016.
Second that.
Ezra, second by Peter. All right, any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Agenda item 4 is regular business. In the case of application of Jared M. Sanderson, trustee of Robin Realty Newmarket Trust, Tuck Realty Corporation, the continuation of public hearing for an application for subdivision special use permit for a property at 36 Dame Road, tax map U2, lots 297 and 320 in the R1 zone, for a proposal to construct an 11-unit residential open space design development. Special use permit will allow 150 square foot wetland impact pursuant to section 503, paragraph F of the Wetland Overlay District of the zoning ordinance. The applicant has requested a continuation until August 11th. Do I have a motion?
October.
So moved.
Sorry, October 11th. Thank you.
So moved.
Okay. Moved by Glenn.
Second.
Glenn, you'll be filling in for Jane.
Okay.
Okay. And second by
Janice.
Janice, thank you. Okay, further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving to the second item, Maplewood and Vaughn Holding Company LLC and the NIP Lot 6 LLC for a continuation of a public hearing on the application of a major site plan review at 2 Forbes Road, tax map R3, Lot 9-6 at 175 Exeter Road, tax map R3, Lot 6, and 177 Exeter Road, tax map R3, Lot 7, and again, 181 Exeter Road, all in the B2 zone. Project consists of constructing 2 new industrial buildings of approximately 14,000 square feet and 20,000 square feet respectively, along with a 12,000 square foot addition on the existing industrial building on Lot 9-6. Again, the applicant for this application has also requested a continuance to October 11th. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Rose, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New and old business. The Design Review Committee, nothing's before the planning board yet. You guys are still meeting, discussing?
Yeah.
Now, have you been able to gain access to the site?
No.
Okay, so what
I'll try again.
I'll do that. I've been behind on
Okay.
catching up with that. So
Okay.
basically, we just have some internal coordination still to do. Diane has posted a lot of documents up there that
Yeah.
need to be reviewed.
Okay.
So,
So just keep Diane informed of as far as, having an agenda item when you guys are ready to present anything to the board. Eric is not present, so there's no chairman's report. Any committee reports? Amy, anything from the town council? I'll just come through.
Go ahead.
Oh.
no, I just, from the Stratford Regional Planning Commission, I don't know, are you all getting this now? They're sending the planning update around? So I've kind of been trying to encourage them to have some mechanism so that the planning boards and others just at least know what's going on at the meeting, since I really have no other mechanism to kind of transfer that to you except at this meeting. Although I have some ideas on how we might be able to do that. So a couple of things there. One is there's the Durham Energy Commission, and it's the commission chair, Charlie Forsey. There's a meeting at 4 p.m. on Thursday, September 22nd at the Durham Town Library on solar energy. So they're encouraging various planning board people that are interested in solar energy options to attend that. I've been to some of the other meetings, and generally they're pretty good and pretty interesting, so if anybody has an interest in that, I'd encourage people to attend that. The other one thing is on Monday, September 19th, which is this coming Monday, I think, New Hampshire Community Development Finance Authority, CDFA, is having a meeting at, where is it, Symposium Series in Franklin. So that was on this thing that I think everybody got an email on. And the other thing is they're coming up with the next round of starting into the next year, 10-year transportation plan. So there's some discussion on what those transportation items should be, and I talked briefly with Diane about trying to create some mechanism for having a list of transportation priorities for Newmarket. And the final thing is I just brought up the question of bike safety on Route 108, which has been in question because the guardrails are sort of closing in, and technically there's supposed to be a the highway specifications for bike safety are a 5-foot paved right-of-way for the bike, and I think it started out being less than that. So that was brought up with a letter by the town of Durham, passed a letter of resolution, which I also forwarded to the town here in Diane, and I think a letter went out from Newmarket just expressing a concern. So there's going to be a review meeting at the next Stratford Commission meeting on a status update on Route 108. But my hope was that before the Newmarket portion of the contract gets let, that they give us some feedback that that is in fact going to be the case, that there will be an adequate bike safety lane on Route 108. No, that's it.
I think a lot of people were concerned when all of a sudden the guardrails went up and it was like, where's the bike path?
Right. There's even less room to pull over if you're a
Right.
car. I mean, if you're a car and you break down anywhere within those two, where the guardrails are, you can't pull over, so.
All I know is when I'm running there, I'm planning how I'm gonna jump over.
Right, exactly. Have some good shoes. Okay,
So,
thank you,
that's
Peter.
it.
Any questions for Peter? All right. Next, Amy, anything on council?
We had some discussion about the downtown project. There were a couple of things. One was, originally they had local traffic only on Spring Street, behind
Yeah.
the Weaver's Row, and they've changed that to, it's closed. There was just too much going on, so now they're rerouted around. Probably noticed that now there's a 3-way stop out here, where it was just the 2-way, but that was getting a little bit confusing, so they made it a 3-way stop. The other thing, they had some logistical changes, where they were supposed to have a crosswalk by the Peck Groomers, kind of over by the Riverworks, but the Peck
right.
Groomers, they had that as the crosswalk. And for some reason, they had to move that down just by I think it's now by the Jade Garden. So they moved that. So there's been a couple of things that have delayed things a little bit, and I think now, I believe Steve said the target date for things to finish was mid-October. So we're hoping that stays up as such.
Who's actually doing the work?
Oh, the name of the Department of Transportation is doing some of it, but I believe we also had like a consulting that planned it out, and the name of the company is, yeah, I think
Yeah, but it went out
so.
to bid.
Yeah, it did
to
go,
a third party.
Yeah, it always
It's
goes
not
to
Public
3.
Works.
Yeah, no, it's not Public Works, but it was another consulting company that did or architecture company that did I think I'm using the wrong terminology, but.
A contractor.
Yeah,
The
thank you.
construction company is.
Yeah.
They went out to bid.
Mhm.
I don't recall the name of. who
Yeah, I
it
can't
is.
remember the name.
I believe, it's on the town website, though.
Yeah, and I think all the information about it is on the town website as well.
Anything else?
Yeah, no,
Great,
that's it.
thank
for
you.
me.
Ezra?
Nothing too much. The Conservation Commission did support the Caterpillar Lab event that was held this past weekend at the Mill Space, which seemed to go successfully. But there were a couple questions about the Dame Road project, which I've sent on to Diane, but nothing for tonight.
Okay.
You're on the Conservation Commission, too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's our appointee to the commission.
And they had a member attend the TRC meeting. of
Yes, I was
Danbury.
there as well. Um,
Can I mention one thing that you could
Yeah.
pass on to the Conservation
Sure, of
Commission?
course.
Over on Heron Point,
Yeah.
I don't want to be like a fun wrecker, but some kids were out there cutting branches and building a fort on that big rock, and I guess they had also started a fire there. And someone probably should address that. You know, they mostly took dead branches, but some live branches, and they built like a big teepee fortress thing there, and they were having fires inside there, so probably, especially being this dry, it's probably not the best idea to be there, so you might just want to bring that up to the Conservation Commission, and maybe someone could,
Peter, you should report that to Steve Fournier and let them deal with it, because the Conservation Commission doesn't actually own the property.
oh, okay,
Well, they're the town, the town is the town, right?
yeah,
But it's not like they have, they're all volunteers as well.
right,
I would suggest reporting that to the town. and
Okay.
then They
Yeah,
can,
this way he
they
can
can
inform
bring
the
that to
police.
Chief,
Yeah.
Interim Chief Kyle Drew.
True.
Okay,
And make Chief Molaski aware of it
yeah,
as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah. Okay. Anything other relative to other
CIP?
planning board kind of things? We're good with Ezra? Okay, CIP?
CIP started meeting. We had a tour yesterday of the rec department and the library, and tomorrow we're doing Public Works, the police station, and water. So that's,
Okay. I know Diane is up to her eyeballs in
yes,
working on that.
yes, she is.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Um,
And what was the TRC meeting the other day? What was that?
For Dame Road.
Bedame Road? Okay.
Weren't you on that? You weren't there.
I know. Diane had mentioned it, and I don't know that I was notified.
Yeah, you were. You were on the email list.
Was I?
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
No
sorry.
problem. I attended. It
Okay.
was good. They have lots of work to do.
Yeah, I guess they have to get Mark Weston to do some more work and
Yeah, so
whatnot. Okay.
the reason that's being continued is they're still waiting on information or, position from the Conservation Commission as well as additional plans that they need to get to Mark West to review for the
Okay,
town.
all right. I apologize.
No problem. Okay. Any other committees? I'll just report in on the ADC. We haven't had any meetings at all, but I did talk to Diane earlier, before this meeting, and so that we can start implementing some of the action plans in the future land use.
Yes.
That Diane will work on for next meeting. I think where we should start is some of the recommendations from the EDC as far as updating the table of permitted uses relative to the B3.
Okay.
That's a simple way to start. We can move that forward, have this as a work discussion amongst the planning board at our next meeting. And then if the board wants to move forward, then we can go to public comments at the November meeting. Okay, and that's just gonna be if you, under page 12 on the future land use that Diane sent out, it would be the changes under the B3 zoning district. Okay? And also the M2 and M3. So they were just minor changes that the EDC had recommended, and we can move those forward to discussion at the planning board. And then then the other thing is, I'll get a meeting together with the subcommittee of the planning board, that we were going to start dealing with zoning changes, and not just from here, but from prior updates to the
Future land use.
master plan
Yeah.
chapters. And just getting a lot of information updated.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So we'll try to do that. I know Diane's gone next week, and then again, once she can get through her stuff on the CIP. So maybe at some point in October, we can get together as a committee and make this some good winter projects.
Okay.
Diane is not here. There's no planning report. I think that's it.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks all for coming.